And we were briefed that there are many who have actually died of starvation in prison. Now, the concern of the committee is that even where in our laws, even where a man has been sentenced to death, unless the judge or judges or the court, better still, says that they should die by starvation, the Nigeria state has no, it's not right for the Nigeria state to starve a detainee or someone convicted in a correctional home to be allowed to starve to death. The budget as it is, unless those who have relatives near where they are serving their jail term, only those can probably survive. The condition under which our detainees and convicts are kept leave much to be desired. So our appeal, sir, is that knowing that resources are limited, is that at least 500 naira a meal, 3 meals a day will be 1,500. Minimum wage worker. So talking seriously, I believe that the Committee on Appropriation should make a strong case to the executive to improve the ratio to at least 1,500 so that allow for taxes, because contractors have to handle these businesses. At least 400 naira may be able to give them something so that we avoid the number of people who are dying of starvation in our prisons. This has to do with the correctional home. The National Immigration Service, they have to deal with the whole issue of protecting our borders. Of course, the military primarily is empowered to defend and protect the territorial integrity of the Nigerian nation. However, the immigration aspect of it, those who are crossing borders either way every day, increasingly, and including those who are, as we now know, many of whom are criminals and who come to Nigeria to carry out heinous crimes such as terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and all of that. Because what we have not always been able to capture when we discuss about banditry and kidnapping, for example, people simply say headsmen. A lot of these headers are not Nigerians. They come from as far as Mali and several other neighboring African countries. And our immigration service have a duty to beef up their capacity, set up various monitoring posts, and arm their men and women to be able to deal with these people, because they are not coming with ice cream. They come oftentimes armed. And so the immigration service, even when they have seen an illegal attempt to enter the country illegally, they do not have enough manpower, they don't have enough weapons to deal with it, and they are trying to construct as many immigration points across the borders as possible. All of this require huge capital outlay. And yet, we saw in the budget, the amount of money allocated to them can't help them to do the kind of thing they have to do to secure all of us. So, but when we focus on Nigeria's security, we tend to focus on the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the police. And we forget somehow that immigration has their services have huge implications for our national security. As a recent president said, if you can't police your borders, you declare a state of emergency on the state border. I'm not saying we should do that, but just to underscore that no nation can afford to have loose borders, that all manners of persons, particularly criminals, and even non-criminals, can move in freely. Yes, we know the ECOWAS protocol allow ECOWAS citizens freedom of movement, but not without documents. You must go through an immigration office. They step you to the country. You must have legal documents, identity. A lot of these people don't have it. And what they rather have are weapons, which an unarmed immigration person cannot deal with. Recently, I think last week, they were constructing one of the modern immigration posts somewhere around Katsina also, and they came under fire. They were attacked, and 2 or 3 of their men were killed. So we do need to refocus on immigration. I think those are the 2 main. I amplify these 2. There are several other requirements. You know, if we were to ask them to tell us what exactly they need need everything. But in the views of the committee, these are 2 critical issues that we think, even in this 2025 budget, that there should be sufficient provision for the immigration to defend our borders and perform their job more diligently, and the correctional home for them to be able to manage, feed those who are put under their custody. Someone, not me, asked them. There are big people who we learned recently were remanded in prison, arising from the distribution of rice somewhere in the southwest. And a former queen was remanded in prison, and I asked, so was that queen being fed 3 times a day with 1,000 naira? Obviously, it cannot be. So there must be other ways by which people like that, you know, are able to take care of themselves. But for the average forgotten Nigerian, particularly those who are what I call victim of big man, they say, I will teach you a lesson, arrange with the police, you are arraigned, magistrate remind you, the case is forgotten, and you are languishing in jail for many years. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. This is our presentation. The document is signed by the 2 co-chairmen, and our observation with regards to the issues I've spoken to are also attached as annexures for the committee to go through and make up its mind as to how far you can help to improve on the allocation, particularly to do these special areas.